What's up? How's it going? So basically I wanted to put a video out there, honestly just to put a video out there, but I figured I'd kind of explain basically who I am and where I come from. But my name's Donald James Laycock III. I go by DJ just because it's easier. I'm 21 years old. I moved to Washington about a year ago. I spent half my childhood down in California and then half of it up in Montana. I started lifting around like 16, 17 for sports. I did wrestling and track at the time, and I did golf, but yeah. But mainly I didn't really know what I was doing, but I just really liked getting into lifting and just like trying to set PRs with my buddies in the lifting class, and it was competitive. I had buddies in there that were pretty competitive with it, so. It wasn't until like the end of my junior year / senior year where I really got into it. But it was towards like the end of my wrestling season. Some good food was going back in. And honestly, like I just had an attraction to just go into the gym, and I had a lifting class. I was doing wrestling practice right after school, but before that wrestling practice, I would go in and lift, and it's just something like, for some reason I just had this urge to go. So I was a tall and lanky kid in high school, so it could have possibly been me wanting to just put on a little bit of size, but anyways, that's where I started, and then it just took off from there with the passion. So after I graduated, we ended up having the pandemic, so everybody went into lockdown, and I ended up just going right into bodybuilding. I was watching YouTube videos all day. I mean, I watched a lot of like David Laid, and then from there, like my brother-in-law was like, do you know who Chris Bumstead is? And that's when like Chris Bumstead was 21, 22. I don't know if he won Olympia yet, but like I was just watching all these people, and then I had no gyms, like everything was locked down. So my buddy was living with me at the time. So I was like, let's just do something in the garage. So we actually ended up going out. My dad luckily had some like scrap metal laying around, and he had a welder. So we actually ended up welding a dip bar together and putting some electrical tape as the handles, you know. And then doing pull-ups like on the rafters in the garage, like doing calf raises on like an A-frame ladder, just sitting at the bottom with like a bag on with some weights in it. Like it was a good time, and it was definitely a good start because it started with a lot of body weight movement, so it probably saved me a little bit, like really getting into heavy lifting, and just started me off with a little bit better form. But yeah, from there, after that, once gyms opened, I was like flies on shit. Like after I graduated, I just really got into it. Maybe not on the diet side yet, but for everything bodybuilding, I was watching YouTube videos, I was doing any kind of lifts. I had really good people come into my life and kind of mentor me a little bit at a really young age, which was really good. Over those years after I graduated, I went to like a semester of community college. It just wasn't for me, and so I ended up working at a World Gym, and that put me around a lot of the right people. It was just a good environment to be around at 17, 18, and then especially like trying to push food. I got chunky. I got up to probably 230s when I was 17, 18, and that was just from eating big old Kodiak pancakes and whatever I could find. But yeah, and then I bounced around. I went and worked for Flag Nor Fail, Rob and Dana Bailey, if anybody knows who that is. I did screen printing for them. That was a really fun job. I got to see inside the fitness and bodybuilding industry, which was really cool and gave me a good perspective on how things are, and I got to have some really cool experiences with them. So I went into like a little bit of a hiatus with lifting, kind of stopped lifting for a good 4 or 5 months, and it took me a while to get back into it, and that's totally okay. But once I got back into it, I was all in. I was pushing all in, and I think before I was doing my training, everything was on point. Didn't have any focus on nutrition, and I was just loving it for what it was. But in this past year and a half, I've really pushed my body and have really dedicated a lot of my time to bodybuilding. So I guess that puts me where I'm at now. I'm about 7 weeks out from my second bodybuilding show ever. I did one when I was 18, and it was it was a good experience. I did like 2,600 calories all the way through the prep. I definitely wasn't lean enough, but it gave me the experience of being on stage and backstage and being around other guys and just kind of comparing. I guess I wasn't gonna be very competitive at that age anyways. Now going into the second show, I have a legit coach, and everything's kind of on point right now. And now I'm going into this show to actually be competitive and honestly see where I stand. I do want to try a more competitive regional show in the future. So mainly this is kind of just to see how my body responds when I get that lean, if I can get that lean, how it feels mentally to be that lean, and basically just another notch on my belt, you know, kind of just to get back there again and just see it. But yeah, basically how I'm feeling right now on this prep, I'm feeling good. In this past week, I've definitely started to kind of feel it. I started my calories at 5,300 calories, and now I'm down to 3,000, which I know for some people that sounds high, but I feel like I'm eating like a bird right now. But definitely feeling the prep, but that means I'm on the right track. Like I'm starting to kind of get flat, starting to drag a little bit, but that's okay. I mean, it's nothing new. All right, that'll probably be the end of the video. I just wanted to do a little video explaining who I was and basically where I'm at in my prep. I do want to take more videos like this. I was thinking about Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so that's something I might possibly do. Just to get something out, whatever I can. I know right now my life's pretty monotonous with prep. It's the same thing. I'll work a full-time job, I'll come home, eat my meals, go to the gym, come home, prep. So it's like the same thing every day, but I'll see what I can get. But yeah, so it's Monday today, and we'll see if we can get something out Wednesday. But yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.